our malted rye whiskey recipe, we use two different versions of malted rye. So our base, which is the majority of our mash bill, is the rye that we grow on site at Nate's farm. We've used two different rye varieties. One is called Danko or Dankowski. It's an old Polish variety, kind of came out in the early 70s. And this one definitely lends like this almost like cocoa powder, almost caramely character to it that we absolutely love and adore. And we'll accentuate that with caramel malted rye. And this we get from Breeze Malting out of Chilton, Wisconsin. And this is rye that has been malted and then toasted to give it more of a deeper, richer caramel character. And that really accentuates that base flavor that we're getting out of the Danko rye. And I think it makes for a really interesting distillate and a barrel-aged product. The other variety that we've used is an old variety that came out of the University of Minnesota, and that's called Ryman. Again, that was also released in the early 70s, and that's one that the University of Minnesota uses to this day as just a check on their test plots. And we decided to give that one a try as well, and that has a little bit of a different character. It almost lends more floral, like a lavender type of a character, and it has a bit more of that traditional spice that you get with a lot of rye. So two early 1970s varieties that we've been using, and I think it really makes for an interesting distillate with either variety that we use. One of the things with our rye fermentations, there's a saying in wine that vines that struggle make the best wines, and I think we kind of have a similar thing here with our rye fermentations in that they definitely struggle. Both of these varieties are base varieties, really low in protein, and so like the fermentations tend to kind of lag for a bit and are slow, and what you get then is all that other bacteria, the wild flora that comes off the grain really starts to take hold of those fermentations, and what you end up is this really complex, highly acidic distillate. And over time in the barrel, it just evolves into these deep kaleidoscope of flavors, fruity flavors, dark, leathery, chocolatey flavors, and I think that's definitely a product of the flora that's coming off of the grain and that resulting fermentation, and it really kind of struggling to get going. It really ends up with this really complex, flavorful spirit that we get out of the barrel.